Okay, number 12, a borrower would like to obtain a loan with an interest rate of, is that 6 3/4? Investors demand a 7 1/8 yield to fund the loan. The sale price of the home is $150 with an appraised value of $145. Lender charges 1 point for loan origination. What will be the total paid for? Look closely, total paid for all points if the lender provides an 80% loan to value. Again, the only thing tricky about this problem, and I do like this problem because it makes you work, all right? What we're trying to figure out, first of all, we need to figure out what the loan amount is going to be. So notice what we give you in the first couple of sentences here. The sale price of the home is $150, but the appraised value is $145. Is that important for calculating the loan amount? The bank will loan you money based on the sale price or the appraised value, whichever is less. So $145, in this case, is lower, times 80% loan to value. Give me some help on the loan amount, please.
116.
116, even?
Yes.
So the loan amount is $116,000. Feel good about that? Okay. So now let's start dealing with this other stuff. What's going on here is the bank wants to make a loan at 6 3/4. However, the investors, the secondary market, demand a yield of 7 1/8. So now what we have to do is bridge the gap between 6 3/4 to 7 1/8. What method do we use to bridge the gap between what the bank wants to loan the money for and what the investor demands as a yield? What strategy do we use? The discount point, right? Mm-hmm. Discount points. Do you remember that discount points will move your interest rate 1/8%? So at the end of the day, what I'm trying to find here is how many eighths does it take to get from 6 3/4 to 7 1/8? I'm going to give you a simple version first, and then I'll go back and I'll also give you a version that's a little more difficult to do, but it also tends to always be correct. Whatever you do, convert your fractions to eighths. Discount points are pieces of 8. So 6 3/4 becomes 6 6/8. Why 6 6/8? Whatever you had to do to the bottom number to make it 8, do also to the top. You're just finding the least common denominator, which is always going to be 8 when you're dealing with discount points. Okay? So if you're okay with getting to 6 6/8, well, at this point, you could just simply say, to get to 7 1/8, I had to go to 6 7 8, 6 8/8, which is 7, and then 7 1/8. So if you do the bunny hop method, you would notice that you have 3 discount points there. 3 eighths equals 3 discount points. What I'm going to suggest you do is use the strategy that you used when you were in middle school. And what that strategy is to convert to improper fractions. So what you do always, and again, you have to be at eighths for this to work. You take the denominator and multiply it by the whole number. So 8 times 6 plus 6. 8 times 6 is 48. Add 6 is 54. Is that right?
Yes.
54 eighths. Okay. Do the same thing over here. The denominator times the whole number. 8 times 7 is 56 plus 1 is 57 eighths. And even though you might have had a hard time going this from 6 3/4 to 7 1/8, it's very simple to go from 57 to 54. And notice that that number is the same 3 discount points that we said before. Okay, whatever strategy you use, do it consistently and make sure you can determine the number of eighths to get from one fraction to another. If you need help on that, let me know. Now, there's one last trick to this problem there, wasn't there? Because not only is the bank charging 3 discount points, they're also charging 1 point for what else? Loan origination fee. So how many actual points are they charging?
4.
4. So 3 for discount plus 1 for loan origination fee, 4 points total. And if 1 point equals 1% of the loan amount, then 4 points will be 4% of the loan amount. 116,000 times 4%, and of course you could have said times 1% and then times 4. It'll come out the same way. I believe that comes out to 4,640. Okay? 4,640. What was that answer? That answer is how much did this person pay for points? And that's all we were looking for. This is not the mini closing statement problem. So all we were looking for is how much we're paid for points in this particular problem. Okay? Is everything in the picture?
Yes.
Okay, good.